Holy cow, this is a very exciting moment because this is another foldable phone. This is from Oppo, and it's a little different than the foldable devices that we've seen. You can notice that I have two of them. That's because one of them is for a giveaway for you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, then leave a comment down below with your Twitter handle. That's it. One subscriber is gonna be one of the first to get their hands on the newest folding device. This is the Find N from Oppo. So what they did here is they created a different aspect ratio in the folded format that's more like a typical smartphone and not so long and slender like you see on some other folding designs. This is significant because it's just not much competition in this space. So I'm super curious about this form factor and Oppo's approach. Ooh. Phone falls out from there. It's quite a bit different. You can see the camera unit, triple camera setup. It also has a dual SIM card slot that you can see right there. That is funny the way they wrapped up the power brick. This is a 33-watt SuperVOOC fast charge, optimized to charge to 55% in 30 minutes, 100% in 70 minutes, 15-watt Air VOOC wireless charging, and 10-watt wireless reverse charging. Got it? Cool. There's like a white, black, and a kind of multicolor violet thing. Is this a warranty card? Ooh, yes.
You love warranty cards.
Well, it's a thing they used to do in the old days when... So I got the black model here. Oh, it's like a brushed... Oh, this is interesting. What a different approach. It's actually pretty short compared to modern smartphones. You have this kind of brushed material, which seems to be somewhat fingerprint resistant. This is your folded touchscreen front-facing camera. You can see where your earpiece is gonna be. As we flip it around to the other side, this is your big display, unfolded, flexible display with a camera in the top left corner, and then we fold it down. Interesting. This is a more typical aspect ratio, maybe even a little fatter than usual. Fits in the hand quite a bit differently when compared to those other designs. It has this kind of concave on the back side here. Here on the side, we have our fingerprint scanner as well as a volume rocker just above that. Your SIM tray is in the center, dual SIM capable, and there's your USB Type-C port. Wow, that's a really interesting take. This, it's hard to call it big because even though it's fat, it's comfortable to hold. Typing on this display is so much more comfortable than the narrow one over here. That's quite a big difference. By the way, that's a Z Fold 3. When you're typing on this one, it's very top heavy, right? Because it's tall. The balance of weight is more towards the top as well. Whereas with this one, it's kind of more like a typical smartphone. It's definitely a small smartphone in this case, but usable. It's a very comfortable location for the sensor as well. One-handed use, you feel more confident. That's your advantage going something with a little bit more squat like this. Gives you an idea of, how your interface is gonna look. This is Oppo's Color OS. I think the front screen here is gonna be 60 Hertz. Now I'm curious what happens when I open up. Ooh. That's a lot better. By the way, the hinge. Ooh, guys, I think I'm kind of into this little sandwich right here. Kind of into this. Listen to the satisfying. Think I might have to use this one. How does it compare size-wise to the Z Fold 3? It's funny, it ends up a little bit fatter, a little bit more square. It's definitely a touch smaller, but it's still a massive improvement for content consumption to be on this screen, and it's gonna be a lot bigger than a typical smartphone. This is a Pixel 6 Pro, but then this goes down, and then that's a whole little pocket situation right there. Let's not get crazy. It has to end up fatter. You got to take from somewhere. But so this is 120 Hertz on the inside. We have now verified. This is going to be a nice little choice for gaming as well. Load up a video real quick. This is kind of an interesting experience. You obviously get all this room and space to browse comments and other things. You can also do split screen, but it's a bit disappointing that currently you can't like zoom in on this, at least in this application at the moment. That could change. You can have your video playing above and then be scrolling your comments down here. As far as the audio goes,
the first thing to do is to get a pen and coat it with olive oil.
The audio is coming from here. It is stereo, but only if you're holding it, obviously, in this orientation. Kind of almost bounces off your hands where you're holding it.
it and I...
That's an interesting
Full of boredom.
move.
You want to make sure you strain this thing really good. As you can see, I'm using 2 strainers. That way my consomme will be really...
Dude is making me hungry.
It could be the recording. That's some nice audio quality on that. All right, should we just give a quick crack to the cameras? That's a quality selfie taking place right there. We could switch around to the rear stuff. We have 1x, 2x, 0.6 wide, standard, zoom, ultra wide. Ultra wide obviously looks the coolest. And then you also have a selfie camera inside here, which is in the top left corner. On this display, we can actually see the image better too. I don't think it's as good as the exterior selfie camera. It's still good, still fine. And here's 4K, 60 frames, even more smoothness to it, 30, 60. How about we fold the other one in 60? There you go. Cool. Inner display is 7.1 inches and the outer display is 5.49. It's kind of like a throwback. It kind of feels nostalgic in a way because smartphones did used to be this height and width. Obviously not this thickness, but there's something familiar about it. This hinge apparently has 136 different components with extreme precision of up to 0.01 millimeters. It certainly does not feel like a Gen 1, and it isn't a Gen 1. They say they've been working on it for a while, and I believe them because it feels that way. It's smooth and satisfying. No gap. Oh, wow. How did they? They're right. Look at the angle of it. I never even noticed how different it was from the Z Fold 3 where you can see light. That's how much of a gap you have. All of these things are improving, but that's pretty amazing being able to engineer something like that. And they claim that it can be folded over 200,000 times. Oh, check that out. Optimized selfie. Use your options on the front and be able to monitor your output. That's tremendous. And check it out. We can get all of us in the selfie. That is cool. That is optimized selfie. Most definitely. It's always great when you can use your better cameras for all your photos. People can even see themselves. Like if I was just shooting a photo of a group, they can see themselves like, woo, you know, like a party type environment. This is a fun little device. The Samsung approach is obviously different. They've got this, the Z Fold 3, and then they've got the Flip. And this is kind of in between the two. It's really interesting. And oh, you know what? We should just do the pocket test. The new Find N from Oppo in the pocket. That is what you're going to be dealing with. This is definitely less of a brick, and I'm really impressed with what Oppo's been able to do with the hardware. They haven't put out a folding device before. This is the first one that they're bringing to market as far as I know, and it feels like a really polished product. Of course, I have to use it a little bit more, but it's looking good right now. And also, let me remind you, we have an extra one to give away. That's always exciting when it's a product we can give away that is very hard to get your hands on right now. Oppo Find N. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Only subscribers have a chance to win. And then leave a comment down below so we can get in touch with you. Good luck, everybody. I think I'm gonna put my SIM card in this. That's pretty wild.
Today's episode is sponsored by OBSBot, the AI-powered PTZ camera, now available in 4K. I did a video on this device a little while ago. This thing was tracking me all over the place, including playing badminton. I don't know if you guys caught the video, but this is a very smart camera you can use as a webcam that actually has a motor in it, and it will pan and tilt, and it can automatically track you. This is the OBSBot Tiny. The 4K version just launched. It has gesture controls, so you can trigger recordings simply by holding up your hand without necessarily needing to be right beside it. So this is going to be great for live streaming, broadcasting, obviously for web conferencing. And then they've got a new product as well called the OBSBot Me. This is not going to require an app. This is going to work on your smartphone, and it has all the same or similar features as the OBSBot Tiny, but in this case, it's all working on your phone. So whatever your phone camera is capable of, this is going to be capable of, while still tracking you and following you around the room. So if you're doing live streaming, if you're doing short form video, portrait video, which it's capable of doing, or landscape, the whole thing can spin around with a tripod built in. So all of a sudden your video production quality goes right up. It's like as if you've got a cameraman holding your camera, even though it's just this tiny little robot called the ObsBot. So now you have a couple of options. If you want the full camera, you get the ObsBot Tiny, now available in 4K, or you get yourself the ObsBot Me and use your smartphone camera to go straight to web, whether it's a YouTube short, whether it's a TikTok video, whether it's a live stream. Gesture control still working on here as well. I don't know, I'm kind of into the Me. I think there's just a little more flexibility and convenience by connecting your phone directly to it. Anyway, thank you to ObsBot for sponsoring this episode.